Hello and welcome back to another video. I've just picked up this 18 amp hour 12 volt SLA deep cycle battery from JCar, which I'm going to use with my budget 12 volt setup here, as I've highlighted in another video. So let's look at the specs of this SLA battery. So it's 12 volts, cutoff voltage 10.5 volts, peak discharge current 90 amps for 5 seconds, and it works between minus 15 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So there's a much wider range of operating temperatures with SLA batteries. Lithiums won't charge below 0 degrees. Charging advice here, we've got cycle charge voltage between 14.4 volts and 15 volts. Float charge 13.5 volts to 13.8 volts. Recommended charging current 5.4 amps. So we know that SLA batteries shouldn't be used below 50% depth of discharge. So we only get 9 amp hours of usage here. And that's around about 103 watt hours if my calculations are correct. So the terminals here are like this. So we need some nut and bolts and the M5s. So I've just picked up some M5 nut and bolts from Bunnings, and possibly we'll use the wing nuts here as well, just to make things a little bit easier. So what I'll do is I'll wire it up. Probably have to make an Anderson plug there so we can charge it up, and I'll check in with you when that's done. Okay, I've got the terminals wired up to an Anderson plug here. I did open the box and they did have the nuts and bolts, but this bolt doesn't have the screw type in there, so I still needed this. The wing nuts that I bought are too wide for this terminal post, so probably return them. But yeah, just so you know, the nuts and bolts do come in the box, but you just don't get the screw type. Okay, here's the battery. There is the Anderson connection, and I've just switched on the breaker, and we are at 12.8 volts, 13 reading from the load output there. So what we'll do is we'll charge it up. I got to set this to SLA mode. I'll look at the manual and I'll set that, and we'll charge it up. Okay, I got to set this to B1, which is the lead acid type. So hold that down. B1. Okay, the panel is there, and I will switch it on with the breaker here. Perfect. And now it's charging. Obviously the voltage will go up because we're feeding power into it, but yeah, we'll measure the voltage at rest tonight and see what it's like, see how much we've charged up. So we started at, what did we start at? Let's turn this back off. I think it was 12.8, and we'll see what it is at resting tonight. Alright, we are now in the evening. As you can see, it's dark, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw some power using this hot air gun, 300 watts. Got a watt meter attached, and we are at 13.3 volts. So I was just looking at SLA battery voltage levels. 12.8 is pretty much fully charged, and they can come fully charged shipped. So I think I've just kind of topped it off today, the last few hours of sunlight. So 13.3, 13.4 is the float voltage. we'll switch this inverter on, 300 watt inverter, and we're going to do a few measurements using my non-contact thermometer as suggested by a comment on my channel. So let me open these fuses first so we can get a good reading of them. Okay, this is a 25 amp fuse here, and that's the one that's going to be drawing from the battery and feeding into the inverter. So we'll take a reading of that. That is currently 12.6. We won't get anything from here, but we'll take a reading anyway. 13.8. So what was the other one? 12.6. Let's remember 12.6, alright? So we'll turn on the heat gun. Why didn't that go? There we go. Did a bit split 9. 274 watts. Feels a bit warm. Let's take a reading of this. Still 12.6. 12.6, 13.1, it's going up. 14.1. You see the controller's flashing low voltage. That's gonna disconnect at 11 volts. Oh, for this thing, it's already disconnected. That's just because of the sag. 15 degrees. So I have an 18 amp hour SLA battery, 50% discharge. That will give me about 103 watt hours, I think. So we'll be able to check what we've got. You've only used 4 watt hours in a forest. Alright, let's check that now. 18.6. So 12.6 to 18.6. 19.3. 20.8. 20.3. 20.5. Terminals are still at 14 degrees Celsius. Check the wire. 14.6. So the fuse is 22.6. The fuse does get hot. This fuse is getting a bit warm. Yeah, I can feel it warming up. That wire's warming up. Yeah, that wire's definitely getting a bit warm. 16.6, 24.7. So let's have a look at back here. Can't read. At 90 watts we've drawn already. No, 1, 2, 3, 9 watts, sorry. Not 9. I don't know why it's turning off. Let's check that now. 29.2. So from 12.6 to 28.3, 29.9. That is quite a big jump. I'm really pushing this system, the maximum, and this battery discharge. So in summer, we've really got to be careful about this really high continuous load. 32.6 in a matter of how many minutes? 33.4, 31.2, 34.5. Let's have a feel of that. Yeah, definitely a bit warm. 35.2, 33.7. See that fuse that's not being used, it's less than half of the degrees, half the temperature. 35, 35.8. All right, we're going to stop it now. We're now at 12.6 volts. That will come up 12.7 once the battery has kind of recovered its voltage. But yeah, so that's a warning. And thanks to Glenn for telling me to try this, to get a reading of the fuses. You just have to be careful. These might burn up in the summer. So you have to fuse them appropriately, and yeah, just really take note of your wire size, fuse appropriately to the wire, and for the maximum load of your inverter. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed my little demo. This maximum 300 watt hot air gun on my 300 watt Ozito modified sine wave inverter, and getting the temperature of this 25 amp inline fuse. So I wouldn't be running that continuous load for very long, because that shot up to 35 degrees plus in a matter of minutes, and we're now going back down. So just use this for light loads or very quick heat shrink applications, or just charging some tool batteries or shed lights, stuff like that.